Hey folks, happy Tuesday. Oh my gosh, we're one day closer to Turkey Day. Welcome to the Fox 5 Live Zone. I'm your host, Guy Lambert. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, coming up on the show today, take a look at this. This happening minutes ago. Who was that? That's White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. Just a minute ago, she was hanging out with one of the turkeys that apparently will be pardoned. You see them bending down right there? Yeah, they're picking up, let's just say, the feathers that remain. We're going to get a chance to take you back to the White House where President Trump will pardon one of two turkeys, maybe even three, sometime this afternoon. Hey, it's the big story of the day. Apparently, Ukraine agreeing to peace terms with Russia, perhaps ending the war. We've got the very latest. Over the river and through the woods to Grandma's house we go. That's the case for millions of Americans as they celebrate yet again Turkey Day, but according to AAA, it's not going to be easy. And how about this? You'll meet the young man that's creating an Oscar buzz. Yes, he co-stars in a brand new documentary, but he's going to stop by the Live Zone and tell us all about it. I cannot wait. All that and more as we take a live look at the White House. Oh my gosh, you talk about a forecast for today. Partly cloudy skies, not too bad. Make sure you grab an umbrella. A slight chance for scattered showers late this afternoon. Will top out in the upper 50s. Well, depending on who you ask, some say it's time for turkey. Others say it's time for Christmas. And I think Annie Mae would agree with that. She joins us live now from the Holly Jolly Christmas Bar. Cello, my friend. Merry Christmas.
You are right, Guy. Merry Christmas. And that is definitely a topic of conversation, I would say, as to when you're allowed to begin Christmas. But we certainly are beginning it today here at the Holly Jolly Christmas Bar around F Street near the arena. Of course, the team joining us today with all of this food and all of the drink action as well. Why don't you tell us what you have here today?
So we're starting off with the Merry Meatballs, which is my favorite because it's made with turkey. So those that are health conscious, you can enjoy. Followed up by the Golden Glow Hummus, which is super delicious and light. We then have our Jingle Bell Wings, which has a great cranberry pomegranate sauce. Our Cranberry Bacon Jam Sliders, which are fun and unique for the holiday season. Our Snowfall Fries, our Chips and Salsa, our Winter Wonderland Salad, and then our Midnight Churro Cake and the Hot Cocoa Brownie. So we have a lot of tasty options here.
You obviously have to end the evening with some sort of warm brownie, right?
Yes, absolutely. Wouldn't be the holidays without it.
And then the chips and salsa too, I love with the green and the red aspect of it. We've got drinks as well too. When we were talking about tickets, basically you get a ticket and then you get essentially a drink when you come, right? So which one is that?
So for the first drink we have over here will be our toasted marshmallow. That's our first drink on our list. After that, we do have our Jolly Pears 75 as well too. And then we also do have our sugar and spice old fashioned right next to our North Pole Mule.
Okay.
First free drinks.
Okay, I have a very important question.
Yes.
Which is your favorite drink?
My favorite drink will be our sugar and spice old fashioned. I'm a bit biased. I do like.
Okay, favorite?
I like the old-fashioned sugar and spice old-fashioned. I need something straight to the point.
Okay, there you go. One more. What are you thinking?
Toasted marshmallow for me again.
Toasted marshmallow. We love to see it. The Holly Jolly Bar, of course, in D.C. We're right next to the arena. So make sure you come out. And we've got ticket information, of course, on our website at fox5dc.com. But, Guy, look at all these drinks. What are you thinking for your favorite? They look gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm thinking 'tis the season to give. And so, Annie Mae, if you want to get me a quick Christmas present, you could bring back that old fashioned. I'm counting on you.
I will, Guy. I'm on it.
Annie Mae yet again joining us from the Holly Jolly Christmas Bar right here on the Live Zone. We'll chat soon, Annie. All right, now we're taking a live look yet again at the White House where, no, that's not where Annie Mae is at, but that's where President Trump actually standing in the Oval Office just minutes away from issuing a pardon to the two turkeys. Yes, I'm making reference to the White House pardoning ceremony. In this case, the turkeys happen to be named Gobble and Waddle. And boy, are they lucky because they will not end up on someone's plate later this Thanksgiving. We'll take you there live when the president makes his way to the podium to do just that. In the meantime, did you hear it's the big story of the day? Ukraine has agreed to the U.S. proposal to end the war with Russia, with only minor details outstanding. That according to a U.S. official. Meanwhile, back here at home, Well, a new report discovered that consumer confidence has fallen to its lowest level in 7 months as concerns grow about the economy. Joining us now to discuss that and so much more is Madeline Somerville, political strategist back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Hello, Madeline. Good to see you.
Hey, Guy, good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Yet again, we're going to take you and everyone else to the White House as soon as the president makes his way to the podium. Of course, we cannot miss the pardoning of not one but two turkeys, and I cannot wait for that. Speaking of cannot wait, Madeline, a lot of folks now smiling from ear to ear after getting word that Ukraine now has agreed to a U.S. proposal to end the war with Russia with only minor details outstanding. It looks like year after fighting, this will finally come to an end, Madeline.
You know, this is the second time that I have had the privilege of being on the show with you after hearing about peace, because I got to speak with you after I heard about peace in Israel, with Israel and Gaza. And I am so happy to hear it. I certainly hope that Vladimir Putin will agree to this. You know, one of the major sticking points and issues is going to be whether or not Ukraine gets to join NATO and or gets any more special NATO protections, right? If they make some sort of exception for that, because Putin did not want that for Ukraine. They didn't want any Western influence in Ukraine. And then secondly, they didn't want Ukraine wanted to be able to protect from a subsequent invasion from Russia, because ultimately Russia isn't sorry that they've done what they did. Yeah. And they want to acquire as much territory as possible and want to keep the territory that they've acquired. So I'm very interested to see what that peace plan is going to consist of. And those criteria that I just laid out will let us know how close Russia will be to accepting the plan as well.
Yeah, we'll have to leave that thought right there for the moment, Madeline, as yet again we take you back to the White House, where President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump now will greeting guests as they get ready to take part in the White House pardoning ceremony. This is something that's been anticipated by so many Americans year after year, and it looks like the two turkeys, in this case, Gobble and Waddle, will soon be pardoned. Let's take a live look in.
I hope you like our new beautiful patio with matching stone to the White House. If this were grass today, you'd be sinking into the mud like they've done for many years, and you would be very unhappy. Please, thank you very much. This was a big day. It's a pardon day for a very important beast. On behalf of the First Lady and the entire Trump family, I want to wish all Americans a very, very happy Thanksgiving. It's a great time of the year, and our country is doing really well, economically, like we've never done before. Today, we continue a time-honored American tradition. Well, that's a well-trained turkey. See how happy he is? In a few moments, I will grant a full, absolute, and unconditional presidential pardon to two handsome Thanksgiving turkeys, and this is their lucky day. This is a lucky day for them. But before going any further, I want to make an important announcement, because you remember last year, after a thorough and very rigorous investigation by Pam Bondi and all of the people at Department of Justice, the FBI, the CIA, the White House Counsel's Office, and the Department of Everything. We have a Department of Everything. You know what that is? I think that's called the White House. Into a terrible situation caused by a man named Sleepy Joe Biden. He used an auto pen last year for the turkey's pardon. So I have the official duty to determine, and I have determined that last year's turkey pardons are totally invalid. As are the pardons of about every other person that was pardoned other than, where's Hunter? No, Hunter's was good. That was the one pardon, Pam, that was good, right? The rest of them are all invalid. I don't know what the hell you're going to do about that, but that's, now we're going to take a little of the joking. That is a mess. But they're hereby null and void. The turkeys known as Peach and Blossom last year are located, and they were on their way to be processed, in other words, to be killed. But I have stopped that journey, and I am officially pardoning them, and they will not be served for Thanksgiving dinner. We saved them in the nick of time. This one has plenty of time, but they were saved in the nick of time. We're thrilled to be joined today by Vice President J.D. Vance, Second Lady Usha Vance, their daughter Mirabelle, and along with Attorney General Pam Bondi, Secretaries Marco Rubio, Scott Bessent, Pete Hegseth, Brooke Rollins, Howard Lutnick, Linda McMahon, Scott Turner, Administrator Lee Zeldin, who's done a great job. A nuclear power plant gets approved in less than a week. Okay? I'm only kidding, but pretty close to that. And we have more. Where's Lee? Stand up, Lee. One of my great superstars. Thank you. Used to take 20 years before you got rejected when you put in an application. Now we're doing them in a matter of weeks, right? And that's why we have the biggest plants anywhere in the world. We're leading in AI. We're leading in everything. Our auto plants are pouring back into our country. Where do you see the jobs coming with them? But many of them are under construction, but Lee's done a great job in getting those approvals. I appreciate it very much. FBI Director Kash Patel has been very busy doing a great job also. Thank you, Kash. Along with members of, see, you got a following, Kash. Along with members of Congress, and in particular, I want to mention Jason Smith and David Rozier. Where are those two guys? Come on, stand up, fellas. What good people. Jason knows more about the tax code than any living human being. He knows so much, we don't even want to hear about it, right? Too complicated. We're going to make it a simpler code. But we did in the great big beautiful bill. It was just passed. Your imprints all over that, and it's amazing. The biggest tax cuts in the history of our country for middle-income people. The biggest tax cuts in the history of our country for middle-income people. And the biggest jobs bill ever passed. And nobody thought we could get that one done. I'm glad. And we actually put 4 years, actually probably 8 or 10 years, but we put 4 years worth of material into one great big beautiful bill. So that worked out very well, and I want to thank everybody for working on it. JD, that was a great, you know, we were going to do it in small bills. We're going to have 18 bills and do it along the process. I'm glad, Scott, that we got it done, because dealing with these Democrats, I think that's our one shot. But we have it all in one great big beautiful bill. Thanks as well to the chairman of the National Turkey Federation and the CEO of Butterball. That's a big deal. Jay Jandren. Where's Jay? Thank you. Stand up, Jay. Thank you very much. Along with his wife Leslie and their 3 children, as well as the farmer who raised these 2 magnificent birds, Travis Pittman, and Wayne County, North Carolina. I won Wayne County by a lot. That means you had to vote for Trump, I think. I won by 92%. I like Wayne County. They're doing all right, right? And this is like a record-setting turkey that's going to be saved. The turkeys being pardoned today go by the names of Gobble and Waddle. When I first saw their pictures, I thought we should send them, well, I shouldn't say this. I was going to call them Chuck and Nancy. But then I realized I wouldn't be pardoning them. I would never pardon those 2 kids. I wouldn't pardon them. I wouldn't care what Melania told me. Darling, I think it would be a nice thing to do. I won't do it, darling. These are 2 of the largest turkeys ever presented to an American president, over 50 pounds each. It's the largest we've ever had. And those are big turkeys. Are they as good as the normal-sized turkey? Better or as good? Do they tend to be a little fatty, maybe? No, he said no. He knows the turkey business. Anyway, despite their size, Secretary Kennedy has formally certified that these are the first ever Maha turkeys. I don't know if I agree with that. These are Maha. In other words, they could be fat, but they're still Maha. They've been fattened on a steady diet of grass, beef, to allow the smoothies and all of the other things that they've been eating for this occasion. This was a really big occasion. But they've eaten every fattening food that you can eat. We wanted to really make them special, and they really are. They're like record-setting. I've never seen a turkey that big before. Are they violent at all? Will they attack as they walk on? Because if they were, I'll stay right up here. But as you know, we're a tough-on-crime administration. We are tough on crime. You know, our border had 0 people coming in for the last 7 months, right? 0. I mean, even I find that hard to believe. They had millions and millions of people pour into our border, from prisons, from mental institutions, gang members, drug dealers. They poured in to our country like we were stupid people. We're not stupid people anymore. but nobody's ever seen anything. The job that they've done on the Tom Holman, Christy Nome, the whole group, the job they've done on the board is almost like a miracle. We have, and the people that make these statistics that said zero, they've said zero for the last 7 months. It has to be like a few people got in, but they say zero. And they're radical left Democrats that do the scoring. So I can't imagine they did that for us. The truth is, we have no people coming into our country illegally. It's an amazing statistic, and I'm very proud of it. And we have the most people working in the United States today, by far, than we ever had in the history of our country. So those are all good numbers. But instead of pardon, some of my more enthusiastic staffers were already drafting the paperwork to ship Gobble and Waddle straight to the terrorist confinement center in El Salvador. And even those birds don't want to be there. You know what I mean? It's a tough. I'd like to thank the president of that country. They do a rather efficient job. It's going to be the largest prison in history. I've never seen anything like it. And a lot of people are behaving on our streets now. You know, Washington, D.C. is considered a safe zone. This was one of our most unsafe places anywhere in the United States. It is now considered a totally safe city. I won't tell you about murders. We're having murders, like a lot of murders, on a weekly basis. We haven't had a murder in 6 months. And it doesn't sound good even to say that. We haven't had a murder in 6 months. But when you are averaging 1 and even sometimes 2 a week, and you haven't had 1 in 6 months, you can walk with your family down the middle of any street, go to a restaurant, you won't get in. They're opening new restaurants all over, and it's really been a beautiful thing to see. So Washington, D.C. is now a totally safe city, and a year ago it was a criminal mess. We removed, Pam, 1,700 people, career criminals, and people that came to this city from Venezuela and many other places. They were let out of prisons, and they came here. They were Tren de Aragua, a lot of Tren de Aragua, that's from Venezuela. And we got them all the hell out of our country, or they're in prisons now. And you can walk down any street in Washington, and you're going to be just fine. And I want to thank the National Guard. I want to thank Pete Hegseth. The job you've done here is incredible. And I hear you're having the same kind of success in Memphis, Tennessee, where you had an even worse situation. And Memphis crime is down 64% in 3 weeks. And by the time you have 4 or 5 weeks, you're going to have it down almost where there won't be crime. And we could do that in Chicago, by the way, if they would let us. If the mayor was a low IQ person, but he should understand this. This is a very serious thing. You saw all the crime that took place last night, the night before. The woman with the burning, they burned the woman. To be talking about that now, they burned this beautiful woman riding in a train. A man was arrested 72 times. 72 times, think of that. And they'll let him out again. The liberal judges will let him out again. But we're ready to go. You know, we've been moving toward Chicago. We have a governor that thinks it's wonderful that only like 7 people were killed this week. But we are moving toward to it, and we're going to, if crime gets, it's horrible what's happening in Chicago. We could make Chicago a safe city in a period of 4 weeks. In a period of 8 weeks, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, it would be totally safe. And the people of Chicago want us to go there. And if you look at the crime that's taken place in Chicago in the last 2 weeks, just take a look. It's on the front page of every newspaper. It's out of control. The mayor is incompetent, and the governor is a big fat slob. You ought to invite us in, say, please make Chicago safe. We're going to lose a great city if we don't do it quickly. Make Chicago, we'll do the same thing as we did in D.C., the same thing as we did everywhere we've gone. It's become almost instantly safe. And I want to do it in Chicago. So Governor Pritzker, if you're listening, let's get your act together. Invite us in. We're going to make your place so safe. You're not going to have these crimes that are making the newspapers and the front page of every newspaper and television story, news story, will make Chicago a safe place very quickly. I looked at the various cases, granting mercy, discovering that the terrible trauma that everyone's going through, and I had a little bit of a Pritzker joke. I was going to talk about Pritzker and size, but when I talk about Pritzker, I get angry because he's not letting us do the job. So I'm not going to tell my Pritzker joke. They have a very cute little joke, you know. Some speechwriter wrote some joke about his weight. But I would never want to talk about his weight. I don't talk about people being fat. I refuse to talk about the fact that he's a fat slob. I don't mention it. On a more serious note, as we gather around the dinner table, I'd like to lose a few pounds too, by the way. And I'm not going to lose it on Thanksgiving, I can tell you that. Because I'm going to have a turkey, but it's not going to be that one. I hope all Americans will have the chance to enjoy the fellowship of family and friends and renew our faith in God's providence. 1 year ago, we were a dead country 1 year ago. The King of Saudi Arabia said it to me actually 4 months ago when I was in Saudi Arabia, Qatar, UAE. He said, you know, 1 year ago, the United States was a dead country, and now you've got the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're the hottest country. We have $18 trillion being invested as of now. We're not even close to being 1 year. The most ever was $2 trillion for a certain country I won't name during the last administration. In 4 years, they had less than $1 trillion being invested in the country. In 9 months, we have over $18 trillion. It's a number that nobody has ever even thought possible. And that's in building plants and building so many things, investments in our country. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. But we have more people working. We have more people praying. The churches are coming back. I don't know if you've been reading that story, but religion is coming back to America. Some people say, oh, why would you mention that? To me, that's a big deal. And this Thanksgiving, we're also making incredible strides to make America affordable again. Walmart announced that the cost of their standard Thanksgiving meal is 25% lower than just 1 year ago. That's a big deal. According to the USDA, the price of Thanksgiving turkey is down 33% from its Biden era highs. Potatoes are down 13%. Ham is down 15% compared to last Thanksgiving. So we are down to a level that we haven't seen in a long time. Egg prices are down 86% since March, and gasoline will soon be hovering around $2 a gallon. Under our leadership, we passed the largest tax cuts in history, the largest spending cuts in history, the largest regulation cuts in history, and we have fully secured our southern border. I've also ended 8 wars in 9 months, and we're working on that final war. It's not easy, but I don't know. I think we're going to get there. 25,000 soldiers, Ukraine, Russia. In the last month, 25,000 soldiers have died. So I think we're getting very close to a deal. We'll find out. I thought that one would have been gone quicker. We did 8. I thought that would have been an easier one, but I think we're making progress. In less than 1 year, we've accomplished more than most other administrations have accomplished in 8 years. And this is a very special Thanksgiving. We thank God for His many blessings and the great success that this country has seen in this short period of time. We draw strength from the love of family and friends, and we express our undying gratitude for the men and the women of the United States Armed Forces. We love them. We pray that peace and prosperity will continue to bless our land, and together we'll really just keep this great drive going to make America great again. MAGA, I think it's the greatest expression in the history of politics. Make America great again. So once again, Melania, thank you for doing such a great job and being such a great First Lady. And now let's go and give Waddle. Waddle, by the way, is missing in action, but that's okay. We'll pretend Waddle is here. The gift that they've been waiting for. And I'll move over and I will just say very nicely, gobble your pardon. Come on, let's say it in front of Gobble. Thank you very much, everybody.
just asked if they
Looks
did.
like a rather violent bird. Anyway, are you ready? Gobble.
There you go.
I just want to tell you this very important. You are hereby unconditionally partner. Praise the Lord. That's great. Beautiful. It looks nice. Who would want to harm this beautiful bird? That's great. That's great. Thank you very much. Fantastic job. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
There you have it. President Trump, flanked by First Lady Melania Trump, as he pardons both Gobble and Waddle in the Rose Garden. The president making several statements prior to doing the pardoning. Joining us to discuss just that and so much more, Madeline Somerville, who was kind enough to wait for us right here on the Live Zone. So it's not every day you see the president address the nation, followed by a gobble here and there, Madeline.
Guy, I am shook. That was so funny. All of it was hilarious. I thought the jokes about Governor Pritzker were in poor taste, especially because if you want somebody to invite you over to his place, maybe you should be nice about that. But I laughed so hard through most of that. He knows how to make people laugh, right? People forget sometimes that he was in hospitality his entire life, right? So he knows how to do this.
Yeah.
And also one thing, and I criticize President Trump all the time, but one thing I really like about him is that he loves children and animals. He's always been very gentle with them. So I loved it. That was hysterical. Loved all the random gobbles. Also, where was Waddle? Like, I saw Gobble get a straight pardon. Where is Waddle?
That's a good question. I think inquiring minds would like to know. And we have to see Waddle just to make sure that Waddle didn't end up on a dinner plate come Thanksgiving.
Right.
Hey, Madeline, you pointed out several things, and I want to recap what the president said.
Sure.
He made mention of immigration, stating that under his leadership, there are no more illegals making their way into America. He also touched on right here the nation's capital, stating that Washington, D.C. is now a safe city. One thing that many would dispute, however, is that the president also said that there have been no murders in the last 6 months right here in the nation's capital. And I got to tell you, we cover just that day in and day out here. And to my recollection, it's been not one but several since the arrival of the National Guard. To your point also, he then alluded to the city of Chicago and the governor of Illinois, stating that he needs to lose weight. But what was really interesting along with that, Madeline, is that the president said, well, he not only needs to lose weight, I too need to lose weight, which you very rarely hear the president criticize himself.
That's true. And, I guess I will, since in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I'll give him some credit here too in him giving a little bit, right? And I do think that his joke about Pritzker was in poor taste, but when he had Mayor-elect Mamdani in his office, when Mamdani was asked about whether or not he thinks President Trump is a fascist, and President Trump turned around, he touched his arm, and he said, "You don't have to answer that, just say yes." Right? That was very kind, because he took his guest out of a position of being put on the spot to say something that would make him uncomfortable. So, I'm happy that we're getting along a little better here. But to your point about his comments on the stats, and you're speaking from personal experience and reporting on it. So in the past, Democrats have struggled a lot with Trump voters not taking issue with his exaggerations. They'll say things like, well, that's just him. He doesn't mean to be incorrect. He just exaggerates. We take him seriously and not literally, or something like that. Well, when you're talking about things like murder, it matters. And when you are making decisions about whether or not to override a state's ability to govern themselves and send in the National Guard, those statistics matter. And I think recently when President Trump was talking about how there's no inflation, or how the economy is so much better. And he also said that we have the lowest unemployment, which is absolutely not true. It's higher than it's been in 4 years. I think that sort of discounts Americans' feelings about what's really happening. And so while I think he was able to gaslight people when he wasn't in power and the person who was supposed to be doing something about it, now people aren't taking too kindly to that, which I'm glad about, actually, because people are now seeing that I think he is trying to gaslight people and manipulate them, and I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, yet again, really interesting to hear some of the comments the president made. With regard to politics, we know that President Trump has now accepted an invitation to visit China. In a post on Truth Social, the president stated that he had a very good call with the Chinese President Xi Monday morning. The president said they discussed many topics, including Russia, Ukraine, fentanyl, and farm products, and that he will be meeting Xi in April. Really interesting to find out yet again that the president somewhat has a rather unique relationship with the Chinese president, when we know deep down inside, well, perhaps not necessarily enemies, but seeing things very differently.
Yeah, that's certainly right. And I think that he's a little bit flaunting the fact that he has just had meetings with Saudi Arabia and other Middle Eastern countries, because China is currently competing with the United States for their business in chip production and AI and things like that. And so he's saying, like, hey, did you see what we just did over here? Did you guys like that? Calling him up right now makes sense to me, actually. But I think what he can also say, right, is we're both dealing with Putin. We both think that Putin is crazy, right? And this is sort of the trilateral way of President Trump and how that works. It's not really a simplification. It's just him going to one competitor and saying, don't you think this other guy is crazy compared to us? Yeah. That's the way that he seems to do business. So it makes sense to me that he would touch base with Xi right now with all this other stuff going on, so that our major competitor knows where we're at and how much we're getting done.
Yeah, yet again, it's all made for a movie, as they say, except this is reality. We'll end with this, Madeline, and that is, we now know that the president is planning to roll out a new proposal aimed at addressing rising health care costs, spurred on by the expiration of the Affordable Care Act subsidies. Now, those Obamacare subsidies are due to expire at the end of the year, and the administration is now looking to head off a spike in premiums. Will the president be successful with regard to actually executing this?
So this is another one of those instances where we are misleading the American people. I am very aware of what insurance companies do. I sue insurance companies all the time, and this is actually what's going on. So you know how President Trump wants to deregulate a lot of industries? Well, one of the industries that Americans do not want deregulated is the insurance industry, because they already take advantage of a lot of people. One of the suggestions that President Trump has had is to have health savings accounts, and those already exist in a lot of different insurance plans, but not in Obamacare in the same way that they exist for private insurance plans, right? They're different. These health insurance accounts would need a lot of regulation. If Trump does it the way that he wants to, they will not be regulated, and insurance companies will be able to do whatever they want with us. And so it'll give us the facade of having privacy and autonomy and being able to deal with our own accounts. But actually, insurance companies will be able to have their way with us in a way that they wouldn't be able to if they were regulated by the government. So I think we need to be really careful with creating a substitute, even though absolutely the ACA needs an overhaul, for sure. But people need something in the meantime to be able to make sure that their health is taken care of, and they need a substitute where the insurance companies still stay in check.
Yeah, well said. Yet again, Madeline Somerville, political strategist and attorney, joining us right here on the Live Zone. We truly appreciate your time. If I don't see you, make it a great Thanksgiving.
You too, Guy. Thanks so much, and please find out about Waddle.
Will do. Hey, guys, speaking of turkey, did you hear a local church giving away not one, but a plethora of turkeys? We'll speak with the pastor and his wife next, right here on the Live Zone. Well, this afternoon, the Family Life Center and Project Feed 5000 is currently underway, during which, get this, over 3,000 families will be provided with meal boxes to include 15 to 20-pound turkeys, fresh produce, traditional Thanksgiving sides and fixings, and additional protein and breakfast items. Did I mention the event is taking place at 605 Rhode Island Avenue in the heart of Northeast D.C.? Joining us to discuss and so much more is Rodney L. Carter, pastor of Greater Mount Calvary Holy Church, and Sharice Carter, the First Lady. Hey, guys, welcome to the show.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much for having us. We're so excited to be joining with you during this Thanksgiving holiday season.
Yeah, this is truly amazing. I'm thinking about all the folks that you're able to feed. How did all of this come to be?
Well, our church is 60 years old on next year, and our founding pastor started this wonderful initiative of being able to be a church that's reaching the community. So we have our Family Life Center, which is our community arm of our church. And so we've been doing Project Feed 5000 now for over 8 years, in addition to all of our other community outreach. So it's a wonderful time to be the hands and feet of Jesus in our community.
Yeah, you know what I love about this is that everybody comes together. It's kind of like, the super friends, if you will. Everybody shows up in a major way to really lend their superpower. And in this case, we're talking about raising over 80,000 pounds of food, in essence, that you all have received from the community. That shows that you all are standing up in a major way.
Yes, our church has rallied together. They donated all the turkeys, and with our different sponsors, we've been able to provide the other items to go with the meals. And so that is all about our church being able to provide this for our community.
Yeah. All right, Pastor Carter, what we do here is we're a live show, and we like to keep it real. So if you could, do you have some of the food or some of the folks helping out beside you or in front of you? Flip that camera around. I want to see what's going on there. Oh, how cool is that? Wow. So explain to me what I'm seeing right now.
So this is our hallway. When you come, you'll see all of our wonderful greeters here at the church and our Family Life Center. And then once you come on in, we have a wonderful, wonderful team that is rallied together. We have all of our turkeys prepared, all of our bags prepared. And so we have a great team of individuals that have come together to be able to make this a reality for us. And so we're looking forward to feeding over 5,000 family members as we prepare for our Project Feed 5000. See, we even have more bags back here.
Wow,
getting ready, so.
Look at that. That is amazing. Pastor Carter, I got to ask you, is it too late for folks, in essence, to sign up in order to receive, let's say, a meal basket of some sort?
No, they can come on by the church. We are starting at 12 o'clock. We end at 5 o'clock. So we want everybody to come, and we want to be able to provide for you during this holiday season.
All right, so you heard it from his mouth. And so yet again, and I want to make sure I have the address correct. It is 605 Rhode Island Avenue in the heart of Northeast. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely love it, and I absolutely love what you all are doing. Yet again, giving back in a major way. Received over 80,000 pounds of food with an expected additional 50,000 pounds alone today. Also received over 1,200 turkeys, and will receive another 1,500 today. I just love this. It's everybody coming together, giving back, and making sure that those that are in dire need will have a happy and fruitful Thanksgiving as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We thank you so much for your partnership.
You bet. Yet again, we've been speaking with Rodney L. Carter, pastor of Greater Mount Calvary Holy Church, joining us right here on the Live Zone. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. All right, folks, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Well, the countdown is on to Turkey Day. It's hard to believe it's, less than 48 hours away. So, quick story, I yet to purchase my ticket to visit Mom. I'm coming, I guarantee you. The good thing about me, though, is I get a chance to stay with Mom once I arrive. That's not the case for a number of other folks. Perhaps they plan to stay at a hotel. I.e., enter our next guest, Mr. Tim Henschel. He's the co-founder and CEO of Hotel Planner, and kind enough to join us right here on the Live Zone. Tim, it's good to see you again, sir. Welcome back to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. Yes, it's an exciting week.
Yeah.
It's the Super Bowl of travel. Record-breaking, actually.
Yeah, we're going to speak with Regina Ali from AAA in about 8 minutes or so, but I wanted to make sure we chit-chatted with you because, well, once we talked to her about how to get there, once we get there, well, that's where you come into play in a major way. In this case, we're talking about what one should pay or must pay or will pay when they check into a hotel this year.
Sure, yeah. So hotel room rates are up. It's the fourth year over year. So you can expect to pay around $200 for a 4-star, $300 up to $1,000 a night for a 5-star. And if you're looking to save some money, go for a limited service 2-star or 3-star. It'll run you about $100 a night. That is quite considerably up year over year because, again, we've broken all records in occupancies as the industry. But the good news is Thanksgiving holidays, as you pointed out, are usually for staying with the parents. So it's not as high demand. You don't have the corporate travel at all this week, which makes up the primary demand for weekday rooms. So hotels will be happy to welcome you, and so the prices should stay somewhat reasonable.
Yeah, and so I'm curious, Tim, because you made mention of a lot of folks, as you heard me state, they happen to be staying with family members. So how could they or why would they raise the price knowing that, well, folks, if they had the option, would choose probably to stay with family versus staying at a hotel?
Well, it's just because hotels have experienced year-over-year growth that's unprecedented. Like I said, we've broken records as an industry for the last 4 years in a row. So when the hotels start to get over 80% occupancy, they really charge a premium for that last room availability. And because we have more travel demand than ever before, because baby boomers are retiring and they're taking a lot of the wealth that they've accumulated and they're using it to travel and see the world and all kinds of leisure travel is at an all-time high. You also have a lot of Eastern tourists from China and from Asia coming over into the U.S. and to Europe right now. So it's creating a spike in demand, and so hotels, price accordingly.
Yeah. Tim, I'm going to utilize one of my little gadgets here, and in this case, this gadget allows me to feature your website, which I absolutely love. I'm talking about Hotel Planner. You see the exclusive hotel deals right there as well, and as we scroll down, folks can find out more about the website. What in particular should one know, and where should one go? I would assume right here where you say, where are you going? Is that how we begin the process?
You could actually search by anything. It's AI powered, so you can type into that bar. You want a hotel next to Madison Square Garden, and it's going to bring hotels closest to any landmark you can think of, any address, any zip code. If you want to be next to the family's house, it'll recognize anything. Then simply just put in your dates and the number of rooms you need, any discounts you possibly qualify for, and hit its search. It's going to search every possible deal that's out there for any possible discount that you qualify for. So it's AI powered. It's the best that you can get. So yeah, it's going to give you a pretty wide search, over 1 million different options.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's all AI and it's all things. So we have, let's see, Thanksgiving on Thursday, and then shortly thereafter, Christmas, and can't forget about Hanukkah. And so with that being said, I'm curious, should we expect the prices of hotel rooms to rise yet again as we embark on those holidays?
Well, if you're going to the mountains, of course, any destinations that have snow, yes. And then if you're going to the beach, any destinations that have sun and sand, yes. So the Caribbean will be high demand, and then anything in the Rockies will be high demand. But other than that, you can snatch a huge deal. Like Vegas, everybody's been talking about having rate fatigue in Vegas. Vegas will welcome you in December with open arms, and you can get great deals in Vegas. So it's all about where you want to go. If you go off the beaten path, you'll definitely be able to snag a deal. And, we highly encourage people to take a chance. If you call us up, we have 7,000 agents that have unlimited experience in the space. And so they're happy to help you brainstorm on where you want to go and where the best deals are. But if you're planning on the Caribbean or you're planning on the Rockies for Christmas, absolutely book right away. If there's any availability left, it's going fast and it will go out at premium.
Yeah. Yet again, I think you unveiled where I plan to hide out come Christmas time. And so they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, thanks to you, now everybody knows where I'll be at.
Absolutely. It's always a good time, especially considering the lights and, the tables and the entertainment. It's a great time. And then you get to hang around other people who are looking to have a great time over the holidays, doing a little bit of something different. So, it's one up there with my highest choice. And then, of course, as New Year's rolls around, the rates will really spike because a lot of people love to travel for New Year's.
Good stuff. Yet again, we've been speaking with Mr. Tim Hinchell. He is the co-founder and CEO of Hotel Planner and joins us right here on the Live Zone. I truly appreciate your time, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great one.
You bet. All right, folks, we'll take a quick break. Hey, so you heard us talk about hotel prices. How about getting there in general? Yeah, over the river and through the woods to Grandma's house. You heard of that, right? AAA now coming out with predictions as to the best time and worst time to travel to Grandma's. We'll speak with Regina Ali next, right here on the Live Zone. All right, folks, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. So did you hear? AAA now projecting some 81.8 million people will travel at least 50 miles from home over the Thanksgiving holiday period from Tuesday to Monday. Now, this year's domestic travel forecast includes an additional 1.6 million travelers compared to last Thanksgiving, setting a new record. Of course, should you have to travel, keep in mind that safety is key. Hence, our next guest. Regina Ali, AAA Mid-Atlantic Manager, joining us on the Live Zone. Hello, my friend. Good to see you.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I am doing just fine. It's time to go over the river and through the woods to Grandma's house, and I am so excited to do just that. However, Regina, guess what?
Yes.
So are millions of other Americans and a lot of folks living right here in the D.C. area. Oh, do tell.
Exactly. You will not be alone, my friend. You will not be alone. So as you mentioned, AAA nationally is projecting nearly 82 million Americans will be traveling over this busy Thanksgiving holiday. Here in our region, we're expecting about 1.6 million D.C. area residents to hit the roads, take to the skies, traveling via all modes. We're actually seeing an increase in our region in all modes across the board, actually breaking records across all modes with the exception of for air travel, but we are even seeing an increase there. That being said, the vast majority, about 93% of DC area residents will be driving to their holiday destinations. So as you said, the roads will be busy.
Yeah, busy, and that means yet again we have to focus on safety. I'm hoping you could provide us with some safety tips that our viewers can actually utilize. And I know one of them happens to be make sure you buckle up.
Absolutely. You want to make sure that you're buckled up. You want to make sure, again, most people are driving. So first and foremost, before you even buckle up, before you get into that car, you want to make sure the car is road ready. So what does that mean? You want to make sure your tires are in good shape. You want to make sure that your battery's in good shape. Check your fluid levels. Last year, over the Thanksgiving holiday nationally, AAA came to the rescue of more than 600,000 drivers across the country during the Thanksgiving holiday alone. So while we're happy to come and help you, and we'll do that, we don't want to see your holiday disrupted by that. So make sure that your car is in good shape before you even head out. Once you head out, make sure everyone is buckled in that car. All passengers, everyone. Sometimes people tend to have a tendency, if they're in the back seat, not to buckle up. All seats, all positions, make sure you're buckled up safely. Whoever's driving, make sure you're focusing on the rules of the road, not driving distracted, giving yourself ample time so that you're not feeling rushed once you get on the roadways. Again, recognizing that the roadways will be pretty busy. But what I can also say about that is we have seen that the traffic does spread out a little more, particularly with some people having that flexibility of being able to work remotely. Some people even got ahead of it this previous weekend and headed out to their holiday destination. So they're there, can maybe work from grandmoms or grandpops or auntie, uncles, whomever, and then enjoy the family and get ahead of that traffic. So again, making sure we know that our police and law enforcement officers will be out there, making sure that folks aren't driving impaired. That's certainly a big thing over the holidays we see as well, particularly tomorrow, which is also labeled sometimes Drinksgiving, when the kids are home from college and tend to go out and party the night before Thanksgiving. So be mindful that we're celebrating responsibly. And again, can't say this enough, slow down and move over for our first responders and tow truck drivers at the side of the road. If you see an emergency vehicle with those emergency lights displayed, it is incumbent upon us to slow down and move over. That law has recently expanded in both Maryland and Virginia to motorists who are disabled at the roadside as well. So some form of that law exists in every single state in this country. So whether you're traveling to New York or to Georgia, be mindful of that.
Yeah. Regina, you made mention of driving distracted, and I'm thinking about all the families that are going to pile into the same car together, and you know what happens with that. Someone will definitely be distracted. And so with that being said, what are some of the things that one can do in order to minimize those distractions?
Sure. So sometimes, obviously, different things can be distracting in a vehicle, particularly if you're traveling with children. So I know when we were kids, it was like, make sure that you're playing a game in the back or you're coloring or reading, what have you. Most kids now are on their phones, right, or on a tablet. But make sure that your kids are not being a distraction. Make sure other adult passengers aren't being a distraction. I know sometimes you'll be driving and somebody's looking through something on their phone, a passenger. Hey, did you see this? No, I didn't see that. I'm driving right now. So you can set notifications on that. Obviously, if you receive a text while you're driving, you can send an automatic message to whomever's trying to reach you. Hey, I'm driving right now, so that you're eliminating distractions. Make sure that you program wherever it is you're going into your maps, into your navigation system before you even head out. So that's important as well. Try to, tune into whatever music you want to listen. There are obviously a number of distractions. Try to limit eating while you're driving as well.
Yeah, for me, the music happens to be R&B. And with regard to hanging out with the family, my sister and I, we would always do the punch buggy thing. But she would hit me in my shoulder too hard, so I quit. Real quick, Regina.
You quit. You surrendered.
I surrendered, yeah. Well, one of the key things that folks need to have, Regina, and correct me if I'm wrong, within their car happens to be an emergency kit. And with that being said, what should it consist of?
Sure. So it varies a little bit from season to season, but some things are always the same. You want to make sure that you have a charger for your battery, for your car battery. You want to make sure that you have water and snacks. And you probably see her in the background. I'm doing this with my hand because my dog decided that she thinks she wants to be in the live shot. So you want to have in the shot. So you want to make sure that you have water for your kids, your passengers, if you're traveling with pets, water for your pets as well, snacks for everyone. But you want to have jumper cables. You want to have an emergency flares and or triangles should you become disabled at the roadside so that you can let other drivers know that you're having an issue. But again, for the winter, you want to make sure that you have a blanket. You want to make sure that you have gloves. You want to make sure that you have a shovel should you encounter some snow or slippery conditions on the roadway, salt or sand, something to provide some traction. Those are all important things to have in your emergency kit. And make sure that you keep a full tank of gas.
Yeah, that is so key. Speaking of gas, one of the things that I love to do when I pop up at a gas station to fill her up is walk inside and grab a cup of coffee. Why? Because, well, time and time again, I find myself suffering from fatigue. And I'm hoping you could provide us with some fatigue prevention tips to make sure that one doesn't happen to be drowsy while driving.
Sure, absolutely. And thanks for mentioning that. So with drowsy driving, what people don't understand is being drowsy while you're driving is just as bad as driving impaired or under the influence of prescription medication or something like that. You want to make sure that you're giving yourself ample sleep. That I know a lot of people were saying, hey, try to travel early. But if you're not one of these people, if you're traveling far away and you're not usually up, say at 2 a.m, that's not when you want to get up and travel either if that's not your norm, because you'll find yourself becoming drowsy. So give yourself ample time. Make sure that if you are feeling tired as you're traveling, that you pull over, stretch, drink some water, drink some coffee, sort of reinvigorate, even take a little cat nap at a rest stop. But you definitely want to make sure that you're giving your full attention to the task of driving and that you don't want to drive if you're drowsy in any way.
Yeah, all yet again key tips that one should implement if you plan on hitting the road. We'll end with this, Regina, and that is we know that after returning home, a lot of folks just call it a day. Hey, we made it, and they don't provide, let's say, a safety check for themselves and or considerations that drivers should keep in mind after returning home. Something in particular we should look at or look for?
Well, when you're returning home, you mean on your drive home or once you get home?
Once you get home. And I'm thinking yet again maybe about the tire pressure. So although we made it to point A and made it back to point B, well, at some point I'm going to head off to point C. And if I didn't, do a safety check, maybe I'll end up in trouble.
Sure, exactly. So you want to make sure that your car, obviously that's a good point, that sometimes you do get home and you may have run over a nail or something like that. So it's always a good idea to sort of give a cursory check of your vehicle. If you just did sort of a routine maintenance check before you hit the roads, an oil change, you want to make sure that you're perfectly prepared for the upcoming cold winter weather season as well. And always, it's a good thing to check around your vehicle as well, just to sort of look at the tires. We'll see that your tire pressure will certainly drop when the temperatures drop on the cooler mornings. You'll see that little orange, funny little light that looks like almost like a wishbone, I guess is a way to describe it. So again, certainly make sure that you're checking everything. And like you said, we're wishing everyone safe travels, hoping that everyone is checking their car before they leave and when they return.
Yeah, absolutely love it. And we absolutely love you. And thank you so much for providing those tips. Yet again, we've been speaking with Regina Ali, AAA Mid-Atlantic Manager, co-starring with her dog. Are you able to pick them up?
See her? She is really... She's usually pretty good, but all of a sudden, as soon as I started to talk, here she came. And she's trying to make her Thanksgiving appearance today, guys. So from Serena and Regina, happy Thanksgiving to you and your viewers.
Happy Thanksgiving to you as well, Regina. We'll chat soon. Yet again, Regina Ali from AAA joining us on the Live Zone. We'll take a quick break, guys. We'll be right back.
corn dogs, you know. It's me, Steven. I've been feeling sick the last couple of days, so I have to use from my bed. But I want to make sure you got this message. Be yourself, and when you're really fond about, never give up. Because that's been my whole story. And I wanted to say one more thing to you.
Okay.
Thank you. Because when I had my first brain surgery, which is the whole reason why I'm here, I gave up on life.
You know this guy? That's yours, buddy. That's your little present.
I saw you on YouTube saying never give up, and that saved me. Like, it literally saved me.
Set in the world of exotic car racing, it's a story of redemption, character building, and overcoming odds at a level.
The young man's name, Stephen Spice, and he's dealing with a rare life-threatening disease in a new movie, which you just happened to watch the trailer for. It's on the short list, by the way, for an Oscar nomination in the category of feature-length documentary. He fulfills his dreams by living in the world of supercars and getting inspiration to fight on from his WWE wrestling idol, John Cena. I want you to say hello to the star of the movie Supercar Saints, Stephen Spice, joining us here on the Live Zone. Good to see you, my friend.
Stop.
I got to tell you, Stephen, I absolutely love your energy. For the past hour, I perused, through your Instagram. I watched all of your videos. You are all things positivity. Did you know that?
Oh, you're gonna make me blush. Stop. You're gonna make me blush.
This is just so cool, Stephen. So I want folks to understand, one, what you're going through, what you've been able to fight, and how you are a true leader. You're dealing with a rare disease, and it affects your brain, does it not?
Yeah, it does. It's called Chiari malformation. It's a malformation of the skull, which causes my brain, instead of it to grow inward, like outward, it grows into my spinal cord.
Wow. And how many surgeries have you had thus far?
Oh, I had 2 brain surgeries and spine surgeries. I had a throat reconstruction, a nasal reconstruction, and a lot more.
Yeah. Stephen, how old are you?
14.
Wow, gosh. I got to tell you, so I want to say this to you, and I think so many folks watching right now would agree, and that is, you are a real hero. I know you love WWE, and it's all things cool, and obviously Mr. John Cena, he's super cool, but you are amazing because you are combating something that so many people perhaps would have given up, would be down in the dumps. But like I said, all things smiles, all things positive energy, and that really helps other people that are going through things as well. Did you know that?
You're making me blush. Like, my cheeks are red. Stop.
So tell me about the movie, Stephen. Obviously, it's been described as a journey of understanding for you and the uber wealthy, the both of you learning from each other, and it all surrounds supercars.
Well, before I talk about the movie, I want to be a positive influence because I want to be the difference. I don't want to just make a difference. I want to be the difference. But the movie, it was really, really, really fun to film. And I learned a lot from my co-stars and the people in it. I learned that life's not always easy, even if you have money. Because one of the characters in the film is a single father, and another character in the film is battling cancer. So I know that it may seem like they have everything and they have the easiest life, but they don't. They still struggle with stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And I taught them that life's not all about money.
Wow. And so your encounters with them, and when you got a chance to chat with them, their reaction, what would they say? Were you stunned by anything with regard to how they reacted?
I was stunned that they were actually like, they were really positive about, like, they were like, wow, you're really strong and stuff. And by the way they acted, it was like a very shocking experience, but they're really cool guys. And in the movie, you see Swash. They're just awesome. They're just really, really cool.
Yeah, gosh. Not only are they cool, but you're cool as well. Speaking of cool, we made mention of WWE superstar John Cena. Can I get your autograph? Because you're not only a star, but you're hanging out with all the stars, Stephen.
Gotcha. Hold on. There you go. Now this computer's gonna be worth millions.
That's because you touched it. And so we know that John Cena is all things cool, but I know he said to you, you got to be the coolest.
Meeting him was insane. That was like the best day of my entire life. Hands down. He saved me because I gave up on life after my first brain surgery because they said that I couldn't be a kid. I couldn't go on roller coasters, no trampolines. You know, you get what I'm saying. And being a 5-year-old at the time of them telling me, that's hard. I can't really take that. And I got depressed. I stayed in bed 24/7. And then, I don't know, like a couple weeks, like 2 weeks after they told me, I saw John Cena on YouTube saying, don't give up. And that's what led me here today.
Wow. Gosh. Yet again, your story, I always say this is made for a movie. Well, guess what? It's really a movie. And not only is it a movie, but now there's Oscar buzz for the category of feature-length documentary. It's not like you do this every day, but yet again, perhaps you're going to walk away with an Oscar.
Oh, fingers crossed, okay? If I can get an Oscar, that's going right above my head frame. You're like straight there. You'd be like, good night, Oscar. Good night, Oscar.
You know what? You're pretty good at this thing. You might want to consider acting as well, full time. that or being a comedian. So, Stephen, as we wrap up, maybe some inspiring words you could share with folks, because obviously we're celebrating all things Thanksgiving. And coming from you, you are so inspirational. There are so many people that are going to look at you. And guess what? The majority of them are older than you. They're old like me. And they're saying, well, if that kid can do it, so can I. What would you say to them?
You're not old. You don't look a day over 20, okay? Now, my inspiring words would be, don't give up, no matter what you're going through. Life's always going to throw you obstacles, and if you just give up, you're giving in, and that's not how I run my life. That's not how you should run your life. And I'm not trying to tell you how to run your life, but that's probably the proper way, not to give up, and to always be yourself, because the world's not the same without you on the inside.
Yeah, I absolutely love that, man. This made my day. You know what? This made my week. This was really cool. Folks, if you haven't already checked that out, the name of the movie is Supercar Saints, co-starring this guy right here, soon to be on every billboard throughout the world. We're talking about Steven Spice.
Right? I'm your favorite person, right? Thank you. Thank you.
You got it, my man. You are truly the man in a major way. Continued success to you, and I truly appreciate you doing this. To you and your family, happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you truly enjoy it.
Thanksgiving. Thank you.
You're welcome. Producer Joey, that was arguably the coolest interview I've ever conducted.
That was the best one. That was it. I've been here for a lot of them. I hope after he wins his Oscar, he remembers us. I still see you on Zoom, Steven.
Yeah.
Steven, please don't forget us.
Oh man, that was really cool. It just makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside. So yet again, a lot of folks right now going through a lot of things, and he's battling a rare brain disease, and he could be all things negative, but decided to really move forward in a major way. That's the attitude one needs to have.
Yeah, it's just the kids teach us the best lessons, the ones who aren't jaded to this stuff, who are just full of hope. We were like that once.
Yeah,
I was like that once. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. We got to go to break. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, guys, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. It is now 1:17. Time for a little celebrity dish on a Tuesday. And joining us, as he always does, hey, our guy is back. Royalty, Media Prince, back here on the LZ. And well, he's really active today. What's up, Media Prince?
What's going on, Guy? We are live in the zone.
Live in a major way. I got to tell you, all that movement, you are definitely ready for Thanksgiving because you have a lot of energy that yet again you'll need to burn off.
And I've been in the gym, so I am definitely going to enjoy myself, and then I'll get right back in the gym. So right. you gotta. The back won't be big in this year, but I am going to make sure I have me a nice, healthy plate.
You know what? Real quick, Media Prince, you know what I just looked at you on when we took you full screen? You know who you look like today?
Who?
Raheem Devon. I thought for a second there, I just interviewed him, but for a second there, I'm like, hey, he's back. That's a compliment. You all are two great guys.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard that before. I've gotten Raheem Devon, I've gotten Future, and I just started getting Gunner. So I'm in good company.
Okay, there you go.
Now I just need their paychecks.
Well, hopefully it'll come sooner than later. Speaking of paychecks, I would love to have Money Long's paycheck. Clearly, she not only wants the money, but wants all the smoke as well. Remember back in September when she performed We Belong Together as a tribute to Mariah Carey? You remember that, right, Media Prince? Well, Mariah's reaction went viral, and she later told GQ magazine that while she loves her, she doesn't like it when people sing her songs. Some folks are saying, well, money is now coming for Mimi with a shady clapback. Let's take a look.
Hold on right there. What will you be gracing us with today, Miss MC? Well, you have that cute number, Delulu.
So, what do you find the time?
Darling, I don't acknowledge time. Oh, please. It will be my pleasure.
Oh, I'm delusional.
Maybe you should do it something like that.
Oh, anything else?
Maybe no overhead lighting. I'm not getting paid enough to be here. Am I getting paid?
I just don't like when other people sing my songs.
Oh, wow. Well, there you have it. One of the comments read, shading Mariah and Mariah's season. Good luck, girl. Another said, you took the bait created by the internet, and it's sad to see. Good luck. What say you, Media Prince?
What I say is all you did was put more light in Mariah Carey's way. I mean, we're in Mariah Carey's season right now. She's going to go on Christmas tour. The Christmas music is starting to chart again. So I don't think that even, to be quite honest, the way Mariah just lives her life, I don't even think she still to this day knows who Money Long is. So I doubt she's even going to take this commercial with a grain of salt. But yes, I definitely know that for a fact this was Money Long's way to get back. And I think she's been feeling some type of way since Mariah Carey said that. And let's not be mistaken, Money Long can sing. Yeah. She's a great singer, but I don't think her vocal range fit any Mariah Carey song. And so I agree with Mariah Carey. There are certain artists that she likes. Now she lied on this because there's a few artists she does like performing her music. She loved when Kelly Rowland performed her music. She loved when Christina Aguilera. I think she likes the people that can hit the range of the notes. I think she gets irritated when there are people that cannot hit those notes, do her songs. But, you know, Money Long is just trying to make another viral moment. Did it eat? No, you thought you ate? Give us that plate.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? You made mention that she doesn't perhaps have the range of Mariah Carey. Media Prince, I don't think anybody has the range of Mariah Carey unless you happen to be a bird.
Or you happen to just be, there's only one person. Well, two. I'm a school you guys. Well, everybody knows Ariana Grande can hit the Mariah Carey notes.
I can see that.
We thought that was Mariah when she first came out. And someone who can secretly hit those notes that we just don't give her enough shine, Shantae Moore. Those are the only two ladies that I know that can have the range and the register to go here, 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 and here. Everybody else, go sit down over there.
Hey, let's move on to R&B singer Mario, who's going viral for what he did on stage, but for what a fan did to him. Oh, I'm sorry, for not what he did on stage, but what for a fan did to him while he performed. So you're watching this right here, Media Prince, and I don't know if you saw, but you see the hand right there? Oh, yeah, we had to blur that out. This is a PG-rated show, by the way. We can't can't put that on TV. Well, the move has led to shockwaves across social media, with many fans accusing the woman of sexual harassment. By the way, Mario, who is currently on tour for his new album Mood Swings, has not released an official statement about that incident, but fans are praising his demeanor during the ordeal. What say you about all of this?
Mario's he's having a time on stage right now, isn't he? First he had the crazy cameraman he threw off. Now he's getting groped up. He's just not having the best time on stage. But you know what? I think some of these fans crossed the limit. You know, there are just certain things you can and can't do. Now, I understand you probably got tickets. You are front row. You could feel his sweat dripping on your hand. But let it just drip on your hand and make your hand stay down. Because once your hand starts crawling up, man. And then especially, can we be honest? Can we be honest? What did she look like, too? Now I'm not trying to say, but also, too, if you're a fan that's just also not appealing on the eyes, please get up off me. Please get up off me.
Oh, gosh.
That could have been the reaction, because I feel like if she was a baddie, we probably would have got a better experience. So this kind of lets us know that she might have been hitting on the other side of things, that you shouldn't be touching nobody but some paper.
Yeah, well, to your point, if she was a baddie, it'd probably be a bigger blur that we'd have to put up in order to protect that. But yeah, very interesting. And I do think he handled it in a very professional way. And to your point, no one should put their hands, guy or a gal, on someone in that manner where it does not belong. Although I would argue there are probably several singers that would welcome that every time they perform.
Yeah, we come from an era where we have seen singers not only welcome that, they invite you to finish up after the show.
Oh, gosh.
But we're also lucky that Mario is a class act, because there are certain artists that we have seen them will bash you on your head with a microphone. So kudos to him taking a classy route, because Baltimore could have came out. And so thank you for keeping it contained, Mario.
Yeah, and he did it also well. We're going to have to leave it there, Media Prince. What are you working on? Any and everything?
Any and everything. We are gearing up for DMV's 35 under 35 list for 2026. I am gearing up for my book tour next year, and I am just trying to stay consistent so I could be in great heights like the Guy Lambert.
Oh, you're too funny and too kind. And yet again, we are thankful to have you here on the Live Zone as we celebrate all things Thanksgiving. Make it a great week, my friend. Enjoy your holiday. We'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. Gobble, gobble. Stay live in the zone.
All right, folks. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, folks, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Well, the recent government shutdown didn't just stall Washington. It disrupted housing programs that millions rely on. Now that operations have resumed, what does recovery look like for renters, property owners, and housing providers? Joining us to discuss just that and so much more is Nicole Ipano. She is AVP of Housing Policy and Regulatory Affairs at the National Apartment Association. She's kind enough to join us right here on the Live Zone. Nicole, good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving.
It's a pleasure to be with you, Guy.
So let's jump right into this. Now that the shutdown is ended, what would you say happen to be the first priorities for housing policy and regulatory affairs?
That's a great question. So our primary goals are to help housing providers and renters get back to a post-shutdown normal. During the shutdown, we were really grateful that there were no disruptions to Section 8 and rural housing rental payments because of an advance appropriation. But remember, the federal government does so much more than that for rental communities. They fund Meals on Wheels in senior housing and job readiness and after-school programs in affordable housing, and we need these funds to be dispersed and get them back on track.
Yeah, you made mention of no significant disruptions. Did we see any at all? And if so, how are they being addressed now?
Sure. Well, one thing that I would flag for you is that the National Flood Insurance Program did experience a lapse. So that is an extremely important program because many housing loans are contingent on getting flood insurance, and those applications, renewals, and claims could not be processed during the shutdown. The Congressional Research Service actually found that during the 2010 lapse, each day that meant 1,400 home sale closings were canceled or delayed and represented 40,000 each month. So we are very thankful to get that program back on track, that it was funded through January, and that there's bipartisan legislation on the table to fund that through the end of next year.
Yeah, Nicole, I'm really interested. What did this shutdown really reveal with regard to the cracks in the system? And I'm talking about housing-related federal programs.
Yeah, so federal housing subsidies and many of the other federal programs that housing providers and renters benefit from, those are not mandatory spending during a shutdown. We were very thankful to Congress and HUD for ensuring there were no disruptions in payments due to that advance appropriation. And HUD also made clear that public housing authorities could draw into reserves in case there were housing emergencies that happened during the shutdown. But we just want to make sure that those stopgaps continue to be in place and that these processes are in place during shutdowns in the future to ensure renters remain stable even when there's federal uncertainty.
Yeah, Nicole, it's no secret. It's all about support, in this case, support in a major way. And I'm making reference to the members as they recover from the shutdown's effects. What support are you all providing?
Well, we continue to ask our members to work with their residents. We know the DMV was hard hit by the shutdown and again by the federal uncertainty. They're working with their residents on payment plans, waiving late fees, and doing the best they can to help their residents as their business allows.
All right. And so with that, we'll ask, what happens now? I know you don't have a crystal ball sitting right in front of you, but where do you think we will now head into? What direction? Where will we go?
Well, we're certainly very hopeful. You know, we do have a bit of a reprieve through the holidays, and then folks will get back to work in January to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I think that's the key thing. We need to make sure it doesn't happen again because it affects so many folks. Yet again, we have been speaking with Nicole Ipano. She is the AVP of Housing Policy and Regulatory Affairs at the National Apartment Association. I truly appreciate your time.
Thanks, Guy. A pleasure.
You bet. All right, folks. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. All right, guys, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. So 'tis the season to be thankful, yes, as we embark on Thanksgiving. And when it comes to being thankful, my next guest is truly that. That's because he was told not once, not twice, but 3 times that he had 6 months to live. Imagine that. I can only ponder. Well, he learned a lot about himself and life after being told just that, and obviously he's a hero and was able to combat through it. Well, now he's written a book, and it's entitled My Life in Business Suits, Hospital Gowns, and High Heels. I'm referring to Mr. Tom Lenoble. He joins us right here on the Live Zone. Sir, truly a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Hi, Guy. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your viewers.
Yeah, I got to tell you, when it comes to being thankful, I don't think it gets bigger and better than you. For folks that are hearing about your story for the first time, I guess the abbreviated version, walk us through how not once, not twice, but 3 times they said, hey, you got 6 months, and then that's it.
Well, I had this great corporate career at giants like Walmart and MCI, and I was in the first 75 employees at Facebook. I interviewed with Mark Zuckerberg when he was 19, and I took some time off because I fell in love, got married, and came back, and now I'm a coach, a speaker. I've got my own podcast. I'm the CEO of the Academy for Coaching Excellence, and my new book, you just talked about it. But what happened through all of this is I had 2 life-threatening illnesses. One I was told was terminal, and I've lived with metastatic cancer for the last 13 years, and I'm still here, Guy.
Yeah, gosh, I can only imagine. But not only are you still here, but now you, sir, are changing lives yet again, and it's with your inspirational story. I'm hoping you could explain how death really reframes, let's say, one's purpose, if you will.
Yes, I think one of the big lessons for me and my business is based on it about risk, resilience, and reinvention. You can imagine from what I just told you, it's required me to take a few risks. It's just a risk to wear that hospital gown, that flimsy piece of fabric that never ties in the back. And so many other things that I learned about how to have resilience through it all. Resilience isn't just about getting back up. Resilience is how you grow from it, how you reinvent yourself to keep going even though there's challenges in life. And so I use those things today in all of my work. And, resilience is a wonderful thing for us to look at this time of year as we give thanks leading into our holiday season and the end of the year, and how we look at how we let go of what's been in our life that's not serving us and set intentions of what's coming for a new year. Really, really important. I find so many people that live in the past as if there's going to be a do-over or a rewind, or we can press that little button that says go back 10 seconds on a video on our devices. That's not how life works.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm raising my hand. I'm one of them. There's several things I've said before where rewind, but to your point, it doesn't happen. What one can do, however, and what we learn in your book is that there are so many things that perhaps we don't want folks to know, or we want to hide within our lives. But you say, you know what? Stand proud. That's who you are.
Yes, actually, that's what the book is for the reader. This memoir that crosses over into self-help is just that. There are parts of our lives that we may feel are private, we may even feel shameful of, they're outrageous, or just that people would not understand. Well, indeed, who you are today is the sum of all those parts. Without one of them, you wouldn't be who you are today.
Yeah, gosh, I got to tell you, the biggest takeaway, if you will, when I get the opportunity to interview an author, I always want to ask the biggest takeaway, and along with your favorite chapter and why.
The biggest takeaway really is about the idea of how we become in a life of service. How we take the things that happen to us and continue to move forward. I call it terrible gifts. We all have these things happen in our lives that are terrible. We lose someone we love, a relationship ends, we lose a pet, we get sick. What do we do with those terrible events? Because what I find is whether it's a week, a year, or 10 years, there's some gift about how we can get up and move on if we choose to. So that's the real takeaway here, is how we keep moving forward in our lives. despite those challenges that might come our way.
Yeah, and what a great gift as we embark on the holiday season to gift someone, and I'm making reference to the book, My Life in Business Suits, Hospital Gowns, and High Heels by none other than Tom Lenoble. Sir, we truly appreciate your time. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You bet. All right, folks. We'll take
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. We'll be right back. All right, guys, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. We are thankful right here on the Live Zone. Why? Because we got this guy, Tony P, back in studio.
When I think of gratitude, I think of me on that list, but I'm very, very honored by that, though.
Good to see you,
I'm grateful for you, as always.
Well, thank you.
You're the man.
I think your friends are grateful for you as well. Shame on me, but over the weekend, you posted a video of you preparing for Friendsgiving with your friends.
A lot of times this weekend, by the way. It was like 4 or 5 posts. No, I mean, I'm posting twice a day now, if not 3 times a day.
Wow.
I'm just pumping out the content. You know,
Yeah.
I have a whole new system.
Yeah. Did I see you preparing a roast? Is that what that happened to be?
That was a huge filet roast. I kind of overcooked it.
Did you?
I hate to be honest. It's a big piece of meat.
Yeah.
I'm thinking there's no way. And then it looked so beautiful, and I cut it. I'm like, oh, it's medium well. I'm like, no.
Well, if they're true friends, they appreciated you at least attempting to do just that.
The Ina Garden chicken was good, though. It was like not tender, really tender on this.
You're just like me. You're like, yeah, I did something bad, but boy, did I do something good.
I made up for it with 2 chickens.
All right, let's talk about some of our talkers for today. These stories, folks, are some of the stories that you, my friends, are discussing at home. I think you're going to like this first one, Tony P.
I'm excited.
A new study shows that, well, women rated guys that hit on 16s more attractive than those who don't. And I'm talking about playing blackjack. So if you're new to the game, obviously, you know, the dealer will give you 2 cards, you flip them over, and you'll see what you have. Well, there's kind of like the golden rule that if you're around 16, you can or can't hit. Basically, what women are saying, 67% are saying, is that, hey, if a guy is adventurous and will actually hit on a 16, meaning I know I'm going to get closer to 21 but not go over, well, she finds it more attractive.
Really? Now, let me say this. It reminds me of the movie Rounders, the Matt Damon movie, where it's like that's the kind of confidence that women want, I guess. No, I mean, I think it shows, A, you don't take yourself too seriously, one, and so you're willing to kind of take a risk, even in gambling, right? And the risk-taking behavior shows that I think you have a little bit of confidence in yourself.
Yeah.
And if you have that type of confidence, you can be a supportive partner and also be secure enough where you're not going to hurt your partner in their journey as they try to achieve things you're insecure, for example.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great point. Now, here's the only problem.
Very, very
Tony
deep
B.
analysis. I think it's kind of like surface level, but I'm going deep today.
Yeah, as you should. But so I happened to play blackjack early on, and I hit. I mean, I think I had like $20 left. I walked out of there with, let's say, $1,000. I did so well, right? Ooh. The next time I went, guess what, Tony P?
You lost $5,000.
I lost it all in a major way, meaning I had to call mom and dad, hey, I need to borrow some money.
Oh, no.
And at that point,
you gotta have a budget.
Yeah, well, I realized, you know what? Perhaps I have a gambling problem, and never again have I ventured onto the blackjack table.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained, they always say.
But hey, I guess for the ladies that time, I was a hot commodity.
Hey. Listen, you know what? Listen, there's multiple benefits of this now. I guess I should go to Vegas every month.
Oh, gosh.
Just to kind of, to press my luck a little bit.
Let's move on to one of our talkers for today. In this case, it happens to surround all things Christmas tree, which is really interesting. Folks are asking what happens to be the best time, if any time, to put up the Christmas tree. Well, apparently, a number of folks are stating that during Thanksgiving, meaning of the day of, after you finish eating, you and the family should set up the Christmas tree. Others are saying that if it's a real tree, you have to wait until actually December starts in order to put up your Christmas tree. What say you?
I say put it up on November 1st.
Really?
I say put it up at the beginning of November when that Halloween holiday
It's still
comes
Halloween!
Who cares? Listen, that's kind of like the appetizer to the meal that is Christmas and New Year's. New Year's is like kind of like the bad dessert you get at a restaurant. But never mind. My point is, people are happier. The studies are showing this. A lot of the talker research and all those studies coming out, I wish I could work with one of those companies, but they came out with a study that said people are like 20% happier when they start the Christmas season earlier. And I'm like, every year we say to ourselves, oh, I wish I celebrated more. I wish I watched more movies. I wish I put the tree up sooner. I wish I did more activities and went, sleigh riding in the meadow, right?
Yeah.
Instead, this time, you do it November 1st, you have no regrets.
Wow. I am stunned. I thought you would say maybe right after Thanksgiving.
No, because it's only 25 days.
Oh my gosh.
You got to have 50 days of this, my
Okay,
friend.
so the you could still smell the pumpkin seeds that I cooked, let's say right after Halloween. I'm still munching on my Snickers bar that I absolutely love. It's just going to feel weird as I set up the Christmas tree.
We can't multitask as a society. I mean, are we that entrenched by our phones now? Where like we can't walk and chew gum. We can have Thanksgiving and Halloween. You can dive into those holidays. Okay. Also, start celebrating Halloween a little early.
Oh my gosh! All right, what, 4th of July?
You got it. There ain't much in like August, September. So you know what? There's tons of real estate.
Oh gosh. All right. Well, I'm curious, producer Joey.
Sorry, I got a lot of energy today.
It's a momentum thing. You have a 3-day week this week. You put up the tree now. Then you're like, it's Christmas right now. You're already looking forward to your week off next month. And then New Year's is basically Valentine's Day, and then March baseball season starts again, and you're happy all the time, and that's a complete hack for everyone.
Because we have to. It's kind of like when you have like a calendar for work, and you can kind of figure out how to take the most amount of days without you losing your PTO. That's kind of what it's like. And you got to have that happiness meter because a lot of us are miserable right now. The world's kind of miserable out there, and we need to like, even if we're hacking the happiness, let's just hack it.
Let us know what you think.
I don't know. I came out weird.
Fox 5 Live Zone. Hack away at that. Hashtag Fox 5 Live Zone. Let us know what you think. All right, producer Joey, you have the last story.
All right, here we go. Gobble, gobble. So, my story today is Thanksgiving Foods by State. Food.com released their regional Thanksgiving food list. For Maryland, we have a sauerkraut salad.
What?
Very nice.
What?
For Virginia, a classic stuffing. That makes sense.
Not stuffing.
And
at
for
all.
DC, it didn't list it.
Oh,
so
out of state.
But I contacted the creator of the Mumbo Sauce Company, Arsha Jones.
There you go.
And I was like, "What's DC's regional thing?" And she was like, "No, it's just normal stuff."
Wow.
No, weird, crazy
okay,
thing.
so and the title of this is, again, what? It's food.com?
Yeah, Thanksgiving Foods by State. So
by
50
states.
states.
Sauerkraut salad? Have you ever had that?
That's an unholy alliance that should never
Wow.
ever cross paths. How many of the states have mac and cheese as their number one?
Yeah,
I'm curious.
that's a good one.
A lot. A lot. Well, you
Now
know
we say-
Wisconsin. You
Yeah.
know,
Oh, of
well,
course,
and I
cheese.
wanted to segue this
Put it back on you,
expertly
Joey.
into and I wanted to learn how to be a producer, and put the camera on myself. But, but once I know how to
Your
do
LinkedIn
that,
posts are great, by the way. Okay, I get very entertained by them.
yes, thank you. So I wanted to know what your guys' family delicacies are, and my uncle dropped this off last night. My family delicacy, the Sandyland seagull poop, which is actually my uncle Sandy dropped this off. It's just pretzels with delicious cinnamon, but it's branded a certain
I can
way
see
for
that.
Uncle Sandy.
All right.
And
Jeez.
Guy, you know what I'm gonna ask first? Your cheese goodies.
Yeah,
Tell
my
me about
mom's
the
cheese goodies. Yeah, I'm flying down to Florida Thursday morning
Nice.
to
God
go
bless you.
hang out
Nice.
there. But yeah, she makes it's a family dish. You know what? I'll bring some back.
I
I'll
want
make
to.
a
I
case
want to
do
try
that.
this because I gotta tell you, I can't stand mac and cheese. I think mac and cheese is the most overrated side of all time. I don't like it. Mark Lamont Hill, the professor in Philadelphia, had its big video last year, went really viral and got a lot of hate for it. I'm with him on that. one,
Really?
Okay.
Wow.
It is the most overrated dish. But I'll tell you, for mine, we do Italian.
Yeah,
we
as
do
you
the,
should.
The man of God, the soup, all that. I would say the meatball soup with the scatolo in there. Oh,
yeah. You
The
never miss
best.
with that one.
The best.
I would also. I follow you, and you do an amazing steak, by the way. Haven't tried it yet.
Me?
but That's,
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's your thing. I see it all the time.
Wow. Listen, well, anytime you want to come over to the house, let me know. Listen, you are like family. You're welcome to come anytime. The door's
You
always
saw it here
open.
first.
So you did the whole pasta story on the pasta terrace, and now you're saying mac and cheese is overrated?
It is, well,
Thanksgiving food?
because first of all, it's like I'd rather have a pizza and waste the carbs, or what is it, the carbs or whatever, the milk on the cheese.
Yeah.
I'd rather waste it on a pizza. Not like a bunch of goo with with pasta. No,
You're offending a lot of people right now.
I
Tony
know,
P.
but listen, you know
Let
what?
me save you.
I know, but listen, you gotta have a little
gosh.
controversy at the holidays.
Yeah, yet again, let us know what you think. Hashtag Fox 5 Live Zone. You can check him out. He's coming up next on The Take. And then tonight, the Fox 5 Live Zone.
We get some
prime
really good
time.
topics. The energy's gonna stay.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to see these tweets. Tony P. with an assist by producer Joey joining us right here on the Live Zone. We'll take a quick break, guys. We'll be right back. All right, folks, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. So we like to do newbies, and in this case, well, she's new to the Live Zone. Talking about Deja, producer of Like It or Not, 7 o'clock right here on Fox 5. Hello, my friend.
Hey.
Did I introduce you as producer Deja or Deja? What do you want to be called?
Deja's fine.
Okay, cool. Deja. Yeah, just put a stamp on it, like Oprah. All right, we're talking about some of the topics that you all will discuss tonight, beginning at 7 o'clock. And I see on my list here, lost luggage store? I'm so confused.
Yeah, so if you ever lost your luggage in the airport, probably never got it back. Well, I'm gonna tell you where it ended up, in Alabama. There is a luggage store. They take everything that gets lost, it goes to the store, and you can buy it. You can just go in there, buy it. They also have an online store. So people have Gucci bags, like jewelry, clothing, everything in there. Some of the things are marked down, but some are not. You know, those handbags, it might be like 9% off, but you might still be paying like $2,500, and people are like, you're just stealing. Like, this is a loophole from stealing.
Wow.
You got these things for free, and now you're selling it back to people. Like, can you imagine? You lost your luggage, you go in there, and you see, like, your laptop that went missing, and now you have to go and buy it back? People are like, no, I don't like it. Other people are like, well, it isn't. Some people are like, oh, like, they pay for those people. Oh, you lost your luggage, we'll give you money. But I'm like, they're getting a lot more money back from that.
This reminds me of those storage units where folks can purchase the storage unit, and then you go in and you open it up. Now, so what you're saying is the bag and the contents inside as well? Everything inside?
Whatever was inside that suitcase is in this store.
Oh, my gosh.
People's clothes, headphones, laptops, anything that was left over is in that store in Alabama.
Okay. I know one of the cast members tonight happens to be Angie. I cannot wait to hear.
Cannot wait to see what she has to say.
What she has to say. Yeah.
And speaking of Angie, another story that we're going to have, and it's also going to be our poll question, so you guys can go and vote on that, is a new study says that spending money on experiences over like material things make people more happier.
Huh. Experiences more than material things. Yeah, I could see that.
I could see that because I feel like if I'm having a bad day, I could go buy like new shoes or something like that. But I feel like that's a temporary thing. If I like take a trip or I do something, I feel like that really like carries me, and I can keep talking about it. I can go back and look on that and kind of feel like happy again for a longer amount of time.
However, there are certain things that material-wise that a new car.
A new car.
I can continue to relive that over and over again
until those payments come out.
Oh yeah, there you go. Never mind. I'll take the experience. Hey, I want to pitch something for tonight. Producer Joey and I, we were following all things politics earlier, and we saw the president pardon. It was supposed to